Good morning, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thank you so much for dropping by. All right, living the simple life in the Philippines. Can you live the simple life? And finally, do we live a simple life? Well, you know what? Let's talk about it.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
I'm going to tell you, I spent a couple of hours putting this together last night. And I built a big spreadsheet. I listed all kinds of stuff. And then I realized, it's easier just to give a generalization than to bore you with the details. So the fact is can you live a simple life here? Absolutely. I don't care what all of these other people say. You can live a simple life. And I think most people tell you you can. All right. I don't think it's strange in any way, shape, or form to hear that. I think the real question here is, do you live a simple life? And then we want to try and compare, because we can't compare other people's lives. All right. We just can't do it. But we can show you why we think we live a simple life. Now, with all of that being said, I made this big ass spreadsheet. Ugh, what a waste of time. I got down to about 80 lines and realized I was only halfway through, trying to make it as thorough as possible. And I thought, oh my God, this is crazy. So what I thought is, do we live a simple life? And I want to say, yes, we do. And so could you, no matter how you choose to live your life, just like us. It's partially related to what was your life like before, and what do you call simple? Now, I'll give you a simple idea, all right? A generalization, I guess, is the best word to use here. In the U.S., when I was working, before I quit working, before I retired, before I sold off the companies, all right? What was my life like? Well, let me tell you, first thing you've got to do is you've got to figure out, do you have children or not have children? Because that's a big deal. That is a truly big deal. Parents spend a lot of time, stress, and anguish over their children most often. All right. Obviously, there are those that don't care, but we're going to assume that everybody does. Number two, what was it like for me? Well, my average for the last 15 years of my working career, for the last almost 20 years of my working career, my average day was up at 4 o'clock in the morning, coffee, news, email till 5:30, shower, shave, catch up on the things I needed to catch up on, and then put on a suit and head to the office or to the clinic, one or the other. Then it would be a full working day. And during the course of that, I would have clinical duties, or I would have office duties, administrative time, meeting with vendors, meeting with hospitals, meeting with all kinds of different people. I never even had time to have breakfast. All right. Once in a while, I might stop at McDonald's on the way to the office or a clinic and pick up a breakfast biscuit or something. But otherwise, it was a full day. Then I had my daughter. All right. And as a single father, since she was 11 years old, even though her mother was a great mom, but as a single father, we had to think about education, tutors, all right, her friends, school activity, cheerleading, soccer, um, just a whole list of school activity. I try to keep limited to keep her life a little bit private. All right, a whole list of different things. Each one of those, is she getting along with her friend Susie today? Did Melody make her cry today? I mean, these are stressful items. How about you guys that spent your entire life working as a worker bee for the same company? Are you telling me you didn't have drama at the office? Are you telling me that there weren't concerns that you had? Are you telling me it never impacted your personal life? I think not. How about you guys that were sole proprietors? Okay. Especially those of you that were tradesmen. I have a lot of tradesmen friends, people that own their own woodworking company. They own their own sheetrocking company. They own their own painting company. All right. No matter how big or small they were, they always had issues that they had to deal with. Nothing from having a bad business, but just business as it is. Yet now I'm here in the Philippines. What's my average day? Well, I'm still up between 3:30 and 4:30 in the morning most mornings. Some days I get up much earlier. Some days I get up at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Most of the time, though, 3:30 to 4:30. What do? First thing I do is I check my email. Well, I turn on the coffee pot. All right. Grab my coffee, grab my iPad, go outside on my balcony, drink my coffee, read my emails. Now, the one thing that I do that many of you probably don't have to do, all right, is I keep a very tight look at my financials. Some people look at their investments once a year, once every 6 months, once a quarter, once a month. I check mine every day. All right. For the entire, 10 plus years we've been in the Philippines, I bet there has never been a time that I've gone more than 10 days without looking at them. Generally, I look at them every day. Every day I have a phone call with my daughter, time permitting. Sometimes she's got midterms, sometimes she's got class, sometimes she's got all kinds of things. But generally speaking, I touch base with my daughter every morning. All right. I touch base with my brother on occasion. I touch base with my mother on occasion. That's not really so stressful. Well, my brother's not stressful. My daughter's not stressful. She's an adult. All right. I don't get to tell my daughter what to do anymore. I just write the check, the tuition. All right. And spending, and expense spending. And, once a month, I talk to her mother, about her future. About my daughter's future. I don't talk to my ex-wife number 2 about my daughter's future, about my ex-wife's future. I'm sorry, got tongue twisted there. My point is that it's pretty damn easy, except my mom. My mom's up there. She's 86 years old now. Conversations with her are a bit difficult, to say the least. But it's not a huge amount of stress. During the course of the week, Arlene and I are going to go out to dinner once or twice. I'm going to go to breakfast a couple days a week. We're going to go shopping. We're going to do maintenance things. We're going to take care of our house in the province. Arlene handles all of that. I don't even touch it. Arlene pays the electric, pays the taxes, pays the insurance, takes care of her father, her siblings, and her nieces and nephews, and whatever additional expenses. Arlene handles all of that. I don't even have to handle it. my life? Is it simpler? Yeah. I started to write that big list of things that I had to do when I lived in the US, and then compare that to what I have to do here. And my point with all of that is, how simple is your life going to be? You can measure that only by how difficult or stressful your life currently is. Okay? I would dare say for 90+% of the people that are moving to the Philippines, that are contemplating moving to the Philippines, that are coming to visit, life here is so much simpler. And simple doesn't mean living in a shack. All right. I can tell you, you can go out to the province where we live, and you can find, 2, 3, 4 hectare plots of land that have,
all right,
a
now,
10, 20 million peso house
whoops.
build on it now, or a simple $2 million house build. It's whatever made them happy. So simplicity is what you make of it and how it's relevant to you. All right. I think we live an extremely simple life. Now, there are people that would argue that we don't live a Filipino life, that we don't live a simple life. I would say, take a look around. There are, of course, people that live much simpler lives than we live. But there are people that live far more complex lives than we do. Okay? I mean, if you looked at, say, the mayor of Makati, all right, and the lifestyle that he lives, or he. It used to be a she, or it used to be a he and is now a she, or used to be a she. And I don't mean from a gender thing, I mean election thing. Okay? If you look at everything, people are different, and Filipinos are different. All of those things said, can you live a simple life here? You certainly can. Will it be simpler than what you lived in your country? I can't speak about Australia or the UK or Germany or anything because I've never lived there. I've visited, but never lived there. And so we reserve what we can say about them. We don't know how intricate their lives could become. I can't help but think their lives would be as intricate as ours. And that's just the way it is. But with time comes certain things. Your kids grow up. You sell off investments and properties. You're not keeping up with as much. Here, life can be very simple. It can be very basic. It can be as relaxing as you want it to be and as you can afford, obviously. So, I don't know. You tell me, do you not think you can't live a simple life here? That it's not going to be simpler? I mean, take a look and a hard look at your current life and your obligations and the stress that you're under, and how much of that would go away if you came and retired in the Philippines. Obviously, if you had the financial means to do so. But I think everybody that watches our channel is either that way or going to be that way. So, yeah, we think we live a simple life. Others don't. It's fine. All right? We definitely live a simpler life here than we lived in the U.S. So tell us about yours. Tell us what you think. Otherwise, have a great day. Please subscribe. Please be safe. Take care.